So essentially, Flighthub and Air Canada had built so many Americans out of tickets that the Americans went after them. Hallelujah, because the US can compel a company to do the right thing. They have the power and the resources and basically the population. So Air Canada paid billions to Americans whose tickets they stole, and Flight Hub in the process was under some kind of control by an American firm in Texas. So this guy denied that Flight Hub existed, while working at Flight Hub, claimed their website wasn't real, and said I couldn't book a ticket. So ironically, you can always book a ticket on Flight Hub still today, but I would recommend that you avoid them like the plague. So finally, I speak to someone who's American in Texas about what's happened. And the guy said, absolutely, you will get your credit. I am sorry that you cannot book a ticket. We are dealing with a lot of issues, but I will give you another 500 US dollars instead of the ticket credit. So you will get a total refund of somewhere around $1,300. Wonderful, I say. I get it confirmed in email. Ha ha ha. So I go to use, I wait for, they said 6 months, 5 to 6 months. So what happens in the next 5 to 6 months? Well, the Americans hold them accountable. They pay fines and fees and give Americans their money back, all the while screwing all of Canada. Air Canada doesn't refund anyone for cancellations or tickets canceled due to COVID or people stranded. They don't pay your fees. Like, it's just a total shit show. If you go to Toronto, you're going to pay $300 to get in a hotel. They're going to tell you it's at the airport, but it's way far away from the airport. If you rent a car in Toronto like I did in the spring, it will cost you $230 for 6 hours. This is the scam. Toronto is just one big scam. It's just full of people from countries that this is the way they do business, and they're not held accountable. And Ontario's a cesspool. I mean, it's run by the Fords. Like, come on, the Fords, entitled, wealthy, fat boys that use cocaine and sleep with hookers. That's who runs Ontario. So there is no honesty or recourse in government in Ontario. There's nothing. There's nowhere to go. So anyway, this Texas fellow tells me about this big credit. So I'm waiting. Months and months go by. I do believe I printed that piece of paper off because I'm smart, but I might not have. I don't know. Anyway, I wait. 6 months goes by. I call Flight Hub. They say there's no credit. It doesn't exist. The Texans are gone. I don't even know the name of the firm. If anyone does, please send it to me. And now I'm stuck again with the morons, the dishonest, lying, cheating morons at Flight Hub who claim that Air Canada never gave me a credit for my ticket. They've asked them 17 times, and Air Canada, being Air Canada, the dirtiest bastards in the country, of course never gave me a credit. And I never got the credits on my credit card as promised by the company out of Texas. So I've lost $1,300 because of corrupt Flight Hub and lying Air Canada. So what can we do? Well, because Air Canada is basically propped up financially by federal government, and if you don't believe that, you're crazy. Because anything that operates out of Quebec is so mismanaged, like Via, like many other companies. It's such a joke. People are so lacking in education and intelligence. You're dealing with idiots, and if they're smart, they're dishonest. So there's really, it's a province run by the mob, and all those mobsters like SNC Lavalin and all that who sell arms to, violent people all over the world. They can do whatever they want because they're in Montreal and they're Trudeau's babies, and the government's got their back to do whatever the hell they want. Same with the CRA, same with companies that are primarily francophone, government departments like CMHC, Public Works, full of people that do whatever the hell they want. I'm sure we're the only country in the world where when a national contract was awarded, it was held up for 6 months by a minister in government who wanted to force the government to spend money in Quebec by building a tank facility. So yeah, thanks, Fortier. Thanks. You're all. Anyway, So now what do? How do I get my money out of Flighthub? How do I find the name of the Texas company that was dealing with it? Well, I start with a Google search and I find all the information about Air Canada being forced to pay millions and billions of dollars to Americans they built out of tickets. But we don't get the same treatment because Trudeau makes sure of it. So, guys, if you're voting for liberals, then expect to be stranded in an airport and foot the bill. If you're voting for the likes of Trudeau, expect all the military training that's west of Ontario to slowly be pulled back into Quebec. Everything is moving east in this country. All the money. Why are all the head offices for Amazon and Wayfair, every company you can think of in Toronto? Why are they there? How did they end up there where the most expensive housing is? Where if you work at Amazon, you've probably got to drive an hour and a half from your shitty one-bedroom apartment in Toronto to work there for minimum wage out in the boonies. The companies aren't even accessible to people by public transit. And if they're on transit, it's going to take 2 hours. How did that happen? Well, do you think they pay property taxes? Could it be that the city of Toronto, the federal government, the provincial government are providing such financial incentives to these companies that they automatically go to Quebec and Toronto? Of course, that's the case. Of course, it is. It's all dishonest. All I want from these experiences is to see a Western Canada in my lifetime, to just flip the bird going east, separate from the Manitoba border west, form a Western Canada. Some idiot wrote me and said Manitoba's not Western Canada. You know, there's idiots all over the place, I have to say. We'll have to take our share of the morons out west, but hey, at least it could be fair. At least we would know where our tax dollars go. We would know if someone was supporting an airline, giving them unfair access to most of the airports in the country, and then letting them bilk citizens out of millions of dollars. So to you, Flight Hub, go to hell. See you in court, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. You know, what do you do with a criminal in Montreal? They're all criminals. There's nobody honest there. There's nobody that'll do the right thing. And Air Canada, boycott them. Any chance you get, any international airline who partners with Air Canada, stop it now. Start using the West. We need international travel out of Manitoba, which of course disappeared during COVID and never came back, just like train travel, just like bus travel. They took it all away from us. We are stranded out here while Ontario and Quebec have train travel all over their provinces, and they took it away. If you want to go out west and see the Rockies, the most beautiful train ride you can take across Canada for a tourist, you got to wait 3 months because the train goes out west now once every 3 months because Air Canada operates out of Montreal, and those bastards have taken everything away from us with the help of Trudeau. That's what I have for today. Thank you for listening.